Good stewards know heaven depends not on what we do, but on how we do it. We are celebrating the feast of the Immaculate Conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And as I said at the beginning of the Mass, most Catholics, if you ask them, there have been surveys on this, say it's the Immaculate Conception of Jesus. And of course, he too was conceived immaculately. So how do we know which it is, Jesus or Mary? Pretty simple answer. We hold the feast on December 8th. If it was the Immaculate Conception of Jesus, he would have been in Mary's womb only 17 days, because his birthday is December 25th. No, it's the Immaculate Conception of Mary. Her birthday is September 8th, 9 months from now. So, why was it important to God that the woman who would give birth to his son, who would hold her son in her womb for 9 months, why it was important to God that she be immaculately conceived? Sure, it was important that Jesus be immaculately conceived, but why was it important that Mary be immaculately conceived? Well, simple enough, again, because he didn't want his son in a body, not for one fraction of a second, that had ever been under the dominance of Satan. So why did he choose Mary? Scientists say somewhere around 35 to 50 billion women have lived so far. Maybe hundreds of billions of more between now and the end of the time. He didn't have to come 2,000 years ago. Why did he choose Mary? Did he know? Did he know that she was going to do something fabulous and he wanted a fabulous mother for his son? Thomas Edison, for example. Many polls, many surveys say he was the greatest person of the 19th century. He invented hundreds of things. He invented the first practical electric light bulb, a great boon to humanity. He created the phonograph. He created the motion picture projector. He added so much to all of our lives. Suppose he looked, God did, at the 20th and 21st centuries. He might have picked out Bill Gates, one of the founders of the Internet. And the Internet has clearly changed the world in many ways like nothing before it. And Bill Gates has become the richest man in the world. Bill Gates makes so much money that if he just wanted to live on his interest, simple interest, never depleting the principle that he has, he could live on millions of dollars every day, because that's how much his interest would be. So did God know that Mary was going to be famous, worldwide known, like Edison, Edison, yeah, and like brain fart, Edison, and like Bill Gates? No, he didn't do that. He knew from all eternity that Mary was going to be an uneducated woman, a poor woman, an unsophisticated woman. He knew that. He knew that all she would do in her life would be a homemaker. What Mary did all of her life was fix dinners, clean the dishes, clean the floor, wash the clothes. She never invented anything. She was poor. She didn't make any money. She was never president of anything. But God chose Mary because as great as Edison was, all those fabulous inventions he came up with as forth, none of those could get him into heaven. Inventing or being at least one of the founders of the internet, not going to get Bill Gates into heaven. All of that money isn't going to get him into heaven. The only thing that's going to get them into heaven is what got Mary into heaven and to be chosen as the Son of God. Mary, all of her life, did little things with big love. And as I preach to you so often, that's all God asks of us. He only wants us to do little things with big love. That will not only get us chosen by God to be in heaven, it'll get us a high place in heaven. Here's a modern parable. It's based on a true story. One of our parishioners here at Visitation of Our Lady, she's poor. I'm not certain she ever went to school. If I were to guess, I would say she probably didn't. If she did, she went to very little school. She's unsophisticated, but she's a prayer warrior. She's always praying. She's always here. She's in her mid-80s. She's always somewhere on the parish, frequently inside this church building. She'll show up at any time. I'll walk into the church, and there she is, and she's cleaning the altar. And when she gets to the physical altar itself, she's got a toothbrush so that she can make certain that she gets all the intricate pieces totally clean. She's a simple woman. But when she dies, she is not going to be on the front page of the Advocate or the Picayune. She will, though, be on the front page of the Heavenly Gazette. Because when she dies, God's going to be standing there, arms wide open, to give her a huge hug and say, "Alice, come on in. You've done so well down there." And I know her well enough, she's going to say, "Well, Lord, what did I do down there?" And he's going to say, "Alice, you did little things with big love." So what do we learn from the Feast of the Immaculate Conception? We learn that it is the feast of the Blessed Virgin Mary and not Jesus. But much, much more importantly, we learn that God chose Mary, not because she was Thomas Edison, not because she was Bill Gates and did great things as the world sees great things, but because from all eternity He has known that she would live a life of doing little things with big love. My sisters and brothers, we are all called to be good stewards. And good stewards know heaven depends not on what we do, but how we do it.